Young women are now dying due to late diagnosis of cervical and ovarian cancer in Kenya. Ovarian cancer is the third most common cause of cancer deaths, with cervical cancer ranked second. Our reporter Harich Meyer brings us the story of Glory Haemba surviving cervical and ovarian cancer, a disease that is shrouded in silence due to shame, culture, and lack of information. Take a look.
After receiving treatment for pneumonia, strange symptoms began presenting themselves. She dismissed them as side effects of her medication. But little did Gloria Kaemba know that the strenuous, painful work would begin.
I noticed I was getting a discharge, a lot of discharge. And I was a bit concerned because it's not normal. Discharge that even wets the cloth. So I saw a gyno who said it's normal after very strong antibiotics. It happens because it kills the good and the bad cells. Yeah. So that was good cells that had been destroyed. So I was given medication and I was told to take yogurt, but I noticed it didn't go. So during that time, one morning I just woke up and my stomach had just ballooned, and I started wondering what is wrong. So I just thought it's full of gas. I took Actol, Eno for like 3-4 days. It wasn't going. So 4 or 5 days later, I felt a very sharp pain on my right side. So I went to see a doctor. I went to Medanta Hospital. I saw a doctor. We did some tests because now we were testing for H. pylori, which was positive. But now when he was prescribing the medication, he asked me if my stomach is usually that size. Then I told him no. So for me, I assumed maybe it's become like that because of the H. pylori. Then he said, no, let me send you for a scan. So we went for a scan. Then my ovaries were a bit enlarged. Each was 15 centimeters, a size of a coconut each. Then he was a bit more concerned because he said normally an ovary is usually very tiny. So he sent me for pap smear tests, a C125 test, and MRI. So I did the pap smear, the C125. The pap smear was not so clear, but the C125 showed that cancer cells in the blood are a bit high. Then I did the MRI. Then the MRI brought out the cervical cancer.
Being diagnosed with cervical cancer last year, September, and scheduled for surgery on 10th of October that lasted for more than 8 hours. In the operating room, doctors discovered the lawyer was battling ovarian cancer.
So a surgery that was supposed to take 4 hours ended up taking 8 hours. So I went 8 in the morning. I came out at 3. So when I came out, when I opened my eyes, he just told me I've removed everything, but I didn't understand. So later on, the following days, when he was explaining to me, you had cervical and you had ovarian. It's called a synchronized cancer. It's a very rare one.
Due to the difficulty of the surgery, the healing process was another gruesome journey.
I got a cough, and due to the cough again, my wound opened. So I had to heal, because you cannot do chemo with a wound. So I started my chemo at Nairobi Chemotherapy Radio Center. It's in Hurlingham. I did my first session. Then he explained to me, since it's ovarian plus cervical, we'll first do 3 sessions. After that, you'll have to start radio under the machine, the radio. So I did the first 3. It was very good. Apart from the effects of chemo, the side effects, because there's tinglish on the fingers, your fingers turn brown, your hair falls off, loss of appetite, diarrhea, vomiting, insomnia, like I could stay like this a week for 5 days, weakening on the legs and the bones. At some point, you even stop walking. You're just in bed, you're in pain.
After 3 months of chemotherapy, followed by radiotherapy, 3 brachytherapies, which entail inserting radioactive material inside the body to destroy cancer cells. Today, Gloria is cancer-free, grateful to have a 12-year-old son, and today she advocates for early screenings.
Decreasing the physical exercise and having children at the proper age, okay, breastfeeding, even oral contraceptives are known to decrease the chance of ovarian cancer.
Dr. Adash, oncologist, says although ovarian cancer is difficult to diagnose as it presents itself in late stages, he advises exercising, taking of oral contraceptives, breastfeeding, avoiding substance abuse are among the important measures to practice. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Harriet Chimel.